There's a quiet war happening on your computer right now. Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Edge, Brave, all competing for control of your internet. But here's the part nobody tells you up front. Most of these browsers are secretly the same browser. We'll get to that. First, let's talk about how this war actually started. Every browser promises the same thing: speed, privacy, control. But they all make very different trade-offs to get there. And the trade-off you chose says more about you than you think. Chrome launched in 2008 and did something nobody expected. It made the internet feel fast. Not faster, fast. Like the difference between a ceiling fan and air conditioning. Within a few years, Chrome became the most used browser on Earth, and Google became something no company had ever been before. The company that controlled how billions of people experienced the internet. But that power came with a quiet cost. Every search, every click, every site you visit. Chrome sees it all: speed, dominance, surveillance. That's the Chrome deal. Apple looked at Chrome and made a different bet entirely. Instead of speed through power, build a browser so efficient it barely touches your battery. Here's a fact most people don't know. Safari uses significantly less battery than Chrome on a MacBook, sometimes by hours. Apple users get privacy features built in, trackers blocked automatically, and a browser that feels native to every device they own. The catch? Leave the Apple ecosystem and Safari becomes almost useless. It's the most exclusive browser on this list, by design. Now here's where the story gets interesting. Every browser you've heard so far is owned by one of the most powerful companies in the world. Google owns Chrome, Apple owns Safari, Microsoft owns Edge. Firefox is owned by nobody with a profit motive. Mozilla is a non-profit. They built Firefox because they believed the internet should stay open, not owned. In a world where trillion-dollar companies control your browser, Firefox is the last major one that doesn't answer to shareholders. Whether that matters to you is exactly the kind of thing that tells you which side of this debate you're already on. For years, Microsoft had Internet Explorer, the browser people opened to download a different browser. Then, Microsoft did something unexpected. They scrapped everything, started over, and built Edge using the exact same engine as Chrome. Suddenly, Edge was fast, clean, modern, built-in AI before anyone else had it, vertical tabs, better memory management than Chrome. Edge is the most dramatic redemption arc in tech history, and it gets almost zero credit for it. Okay, stop, because here's where everything you thought you knew gets complicated. Chrome, Edge, Brave, Opera, Vivaldi, 5 different browsers, 5 different companies, 5 different promises, one engine. They all run on Chromium, the open source core that Google built and quietly released to the world, which means when you switched from Chrome to Brave for privacy, you're still running Google's engine. When Microsoft rebuilt Edge to compete with Chrome, they built it on top of Chrome. Google doesn't just have the most popular browser. Google has the engine that powers most of its competition. Think about what that actually means. So if most browsers run on Google's engine, does it even matter which one you choose?
Brave says yes. Same Chromium engine, but ads blocked automatically. Trackers killed by default. Zero data sent to Google. They even built a system where you can earn cryptocurrency for watching privacy-friendly ads. Whether that sounds like the future or a gimmick depends entirely on how much you trust the internet right now. And then there's Tor. Tor doesn't run on Chromium. Tor doesn't care about speed. Tor was built for one thing only: disappearing. Your traffic bounces through encrypted relays across the entire planet, like putting on a new disguise in every country before finally reaching a website. Journalists use it, activists use it, whistleblowers use it, and yes, some people use it for things they absolutely shouldn't. Tor is the most morally complicated browser on the internet, and it's not even close. Opera had a built-in ad blocker before ad blockers were mainstream. Free VPN, sidebar apps, battery saver, all built in. No extensions required. Opera was building the future of browsers while everyone else was still catching up. It remains the most underrated browser in this entire conversation. That's not an opinion. That's just the truth nobody wants to admit. Moment of silence. Billions of people experienced the internet for the first time through Internet Explorer. It shaped an entire generation. And then it became the browser people opened to download a different browser. Microsoft eventually retired it in 2022, ending one of the most important and most mocked chapters in internet history. Rest in peace, Blue E. You made us who we are, even if we never admitted it. Here's what this browser war actually reveals. The internet isn't neutral. Every browser is a choice about who you trust. Chrome means you trust Google with your data. Safari means you trust Apple with your ecosystem. Firefox means you trust a nonprofit over a corporation. Brave means you trust no one by default. Most people never made that choice consciously. They just used whatever was already installed. And that, quietly, is how Google ended up controlling how most of the world experiences the internet. Not by force, just by being the default. So here's the real question. Chrome users believe speed matters most. Firefox users believe privacy matters most. Safari users trust Apple more than Google. Edge users just want credit for switching. Which side are you actually on? Because your browser isn't just software. It's a quiet vote for what kind of internet you want to live in. Drop your browser in the comments. I want to see which side actually wins.